Anyway, to follow up on what Stanch was saying earlier, when he came over and they asked me about the swords or whatever, Genjo's just gonna look at Stanch, and concerning that topic of conversation, he's gonna say something along the lines of, if you ever wanted to practice or hone your skills, I'm up to show you a thing or two.
I appreciate that, but Moradin says you live and you die by...
You broke up. Live in what?
You live or you die by the sword, so I use a hammer instead.
Yes. Blades are all well and good, I suppose. They have their uses.
Have you ever really used yours?
Did I not tell you about the dragon? I thought I did.
Well, you did mention a dragon. I find it very hard to believe that you've ever stabbed any sort of meat that wasn't already cooked.
I also climbed. Okay.
Okay, so I'll find it between sessions. That's fine. All right, so Wakanga says, I think this concludes our business. So unless you need to purchase something, I'm going to get her settled, and you should probably start gathering rumors and preparing for your journey.
Thank you for your kindness, Syndra. It was nice to meet you, and we'll certainly be looking. We'll certainly be continuing on our quest.
Yes, thank you, our most gracious hall. If you ever want to visit the Hall of Aetherian, you will always be welcome.
And he says, I may one day take you up on that.
Do you have a to-go goblet I can grab from you, perchance?
I knew you were going to try to buy wine from that guy.
No. I don't.
I kind of like kick like his calf.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
There'll be plenty of meat in the bar.
I don't think they know what mead is. I don't think they know what wine is.
So, are we leaving then?
Yeah.
All right.
Off and dip it in that pool in the room to cool off a little bit.
So I guess we should probably make our way to the. And I'm just talking. I guess we should probably make our way to the inn to try to grab some information. Or do you guys think we should go shopping first?
Oh yes, the inn that's called. I think it's something about sleepy bedtime.
Well,
The Thundering Lizard.
let me find the Thundering Lizard. Yeah.
Well,
God damn it.
I suppose that they have some good poker games. Maybe that might be all right.
Okay, so I guess we're all going to collectively head towards the Thundering Lizard.
I don't remember where that was.
Asking directions on the way.
I think it's
near the neck, isn't it? Or near that tent. It's this tent down here.
Right.
Like
It's
So
right.
you want to stop by the? Never mind.
the brewery. Is that what you're going to say?
No, I was gonna suggest stopping by the Order of the Hammer, telling him we'll be staying there tonight.
Well, we
I'm
can.
certainly not
It's on the way. It's on the
I'm
way.
not
If you
spending the night at some place called Thunder Lizard.
Okay, so I guess on our way then to the Thundering Lizard, then we would go by the church.
Right. Order of the Hammer.
Right.
All right. So you approach the cathedral, and it is pretty well adorned. Better off than some of its surroundings. You approach. There's a pretty nice marble staircase that leads up to these big, heavily ornate doors.
I'm just gonna keep walking by because if Stanch hasn't said anything about it, I don't know that it's his church. So I'm just gonna keep walking unless he says something.
There's a
Hey,
giant hammer
too far.
painted on the door, sir. I think that's where we're supposed to go.
Ginjo, turn around.
Ginjo.
I can't get
Come
my
back
character.
out.
I can click all three of you guys, but I can't click me because you're all on top. I'm moving you out of the way so I can click me. Okay. All right.
You just shoved me, sir. I'm nobility.
All right. A knock on the door.
We're
the
stopping
one-
here then, huh?
Yes, like I said, yeah.
So you knock on the door, and the door it slowly opens, and you see what appears to be probably a high-level priest in the order. He looks at you, Stanch, with like a bit of disdain, and is like, I received word you were coming this way. I was
Good
hoping
to see
that was
you too, Father.
I guess you're popular with your own people as well as others, huh?
So I say, yes, we're hoping to stay for the night. I have 2 others. But we need room and board, enable us to defeat this evil in the name of Moradin.
right. The quest to destroy the Soulmonger.
Exactly.
Yes, our doors are open, to you and your companions. Yes, we know of it. We're the ones who helped supply that information to Syndra.
Have you learned anything new since you've talked to that might aid us?
There are many rumors floating about.
Many rumors, I see.
I love rumors. Rumors are the heart of good information.
Rumors are everywhere, really, when you look right at it. They're here, they're there.
Right. So,
It's better than a 1.
So, while we have not found anything about the Soulmonger, one of our recent scouts did report our research into some ruins have found that the great god Ublau. Say that right?
Ublau.
Is that a U or T? I can't see.
Blah.
Ubtao. I don't know if that's. Hold on, let me zoom in.
It's alright, dear dwarf, sir.
Ubtao. Ubtao. They had once guided the people of Cholt, but he was tired of their constant warring and abandoned them. And since then, they have now actually started to worship other gods. Some of them are tricksters and deceivers.
Well,
These heathens.
All of them, other than Moradin, are tricksters and deceivers.
Okay, here we go again.
How is this a great god if you have the one true god?
It's not. It's a false god. Don't you get it?
And he says, please ignore him. We are devout followers of this god, but we never claim him to be the only god.
Oh.
He must have missed something in one of his drinking fits.
It's one of, although the Father and I both share love of our God, we have some differences in doctrine.
Good save, sir. Can you roll a charisma check on that?
Thanks, Dungeon Master.
So do we get like set up here and does he like?
Right. He says, but yes, our doors are open to all who are in need, especially if you are help us rid of this this evil artifact.
Yes, sir.
So he leads you pretty far into the chapel and down a flight of stairs into the basement, and you find like some pretty decent looking beds, as well as each bed has a chest where you can store your gear.
Nice. All right.
Is there anywhere to hang up my trench coat?
No, there's no place to hang coats, but you can probably fold it and put it in your chest.
Do they have any like servants that would do my laundry, or is that just all on me?
That's all you.
Shoot.
All right, I'm just gonna put my trench coat in the chest, and then I'm ready to go because I wanna go shopping.
I think I have.
I'm going to say,
I think I have
all right,
fancy
Father, we'll
clothes
be
in my
back
inventory.
later tonight, but we have, we have work to do, as you know, figure this out. So, if you learn of any good leads, I hope you'll let us know.
He says, "Of course, we will keep our ears out."
Very good. Hammer be with you, or whatever.
That's pretty neat, actually.
Let's see here.
May the hammer always swing in your favor.
If
Hammer
you don't
guide
have a
me.
nail pun by the end of this adventure, I will be very upset.
So, you guys leave the church, and
Shopping or beer?
Both.
Well, I know what I'm doing, but I'm sure they'll have beer at the market too.
all right.
I'd like to look for this blacksmith he talked about. If
Okay.
you're going to if you're going to go to the Thundering Lizard, I'll meet you there.
All right. So,
Okay,
actually,
yeah,
before
those
you
are-
guys separate, near the church, you find a notice board, and on it appears to be a bunch of advertisements for different guides. You
I
find
read those.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You find 7 posted at the moment. You have one for Azaka, one for a person named Iku. One is Feral and Gondolo. One is Hugh Hackenstones. Musharab.
That's
I know
actually-
who I'm picking out.
Let's see here. Oh, I gotta expand that one to see
I
it.
say very loudly, like as Stanch is walking away. This Hugh Hackenstone
Ah.
is such a barbaric name. We probably don't need a guide like that.
River Mist and a flask of wine. And
Is the name of one of the
Salida.
people?
Yeah.
Is there a way I can do like a perception check to see if any of them pop out as being particularly,
Oh, that's good. Like you notice their names, maybe.
or like they're? I assume it tells a little bit about them. If there's
Yeah,
something
like
sticks
if-
out as like
Well,
something
if,
that
which
might
one?
be helpful.
Which one do you want to look at? I got 6 of them. I can hand out all 7 if you want them.
Yeah, I think you just need one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's the last guy's name?
Salida.
River or something.
Oh,
Salida.
River Mist and flask of wine. It looks like 2 people. It looks like a team.
Okay.
It's like it's a really sexy like female elf and her animate flask of wine.
Actually,
So would
Since-
I roll perception or? Oh,
since
oh,
you guys
we
were
gotta-
focused on that one, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't want to deal with her. Can I see Hugh Hackenstone?
Oh,
To Khajiit, no. We're not really that interested in the Khajiit.
Yeah, well, that guy's not speaking my language.
yeah, he looks pretty cool. Oh, that's so neat. We can all read this too.
Of course, this is a team decision, so you guys
So
really
he's-
like River standing
Well,
class?
he says a red dragon bit off his arm, and I'd like to compare it to my dragon. Ballad, if you will.
Your dragon scars.
Well, I was a master swordsman. I didn't get hit by it, you see. 5 gold a day. That sounds very,
It's
very
kind of pricey.
Oh, I mean, pricey.
As you look through all of them, you notice that's about standard pricing for a guide.
Oh, okay.
Well, this Hugh
However,
seems to know his way around this place.
however, you do note some of them do offer alternatives, if for like helping them with unrelated quests.
Okay.
Hmm.
Can I ask you, are there any of them that are like local to the jungle? I know you said everybody.
Right. These are all local townspeople.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'm noticing right here because I didn't know exactly what you're saying before. Looks like you said that they actually have personal quests.
Right. Some of them do have personal quests, like Azaku there.
Yeah. stole a wooden mask from me and I want it back.
I will waive my fee and guide them to place no one else has found. To place no one else has found. This quest will take us to Firelinger. So she'll do it for free if you help with...
Gentlemen, if you look here, Azaka seems to... I mean, if we help her find a mask, which, I mean, that can't be too hard.
Right.
But the dwarf fought a dragon.
But the River Mist folks will waive it, but that means we have to share our... For sure.
Have to what? I missed that.
The River Mist and Flask of Water or whatever.
Oh, for sure is the treasure.
Yeah,
Definitely not them.
I'm not sure. No.
Rathirians
So-
don't share treasure.
So far, I like Azaka the best, actually.
I mean, she says she'll take us to places nobody else has been, which might get us closer to Omo than anybody else.
Hold on, sorry if you guys
Can't-
get flooded. I'm apologize.
No, that's fine.
It's fine. We can't underestimate knowledge that's not readily available.
Ferrule and Gondola look like dwarves, so I don't know if that's what
They do look like... You said dorks, not dwarfs, right? Because they definitely look like dorks. And I want to know.
Jeez,
Dwarves.
Iku's really nice, it sounds like.
Yes. A small portion goes to pay off the merchant Prince Jobel. The rest I give to charity.
She's just more interested in just stopping evil than...
I vote for Asaka.
Marashub's got something going on with Moradin here.
Hey guys, I'll be right back.
He also looks like he's very lycanthropic or something. Like he looks like he's almost dead or whatever.
But you guys can go ahead and make the choice while I'm playing, because I'm a little bit...
Well,
my
yeah,
character's
you don't
a little bit disinterested.
like you don't have to make the choice now. Like you can hold on to those and
Okay.
Yeah, let's mull it over.
All
Some
right, cool.
drinks tonight.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right. Can I, while they're walking to where they're going, can I go to the blacksmith?
yes, you can.
All right. I don't know where it is, so I'm terrible with directions and I don't know where it is, so I'm just around looking for it.
Yeah, let's head south there. Let's see if I can find.
So should I roll something to see if I find it? Because he said south. That's all I knew.
Give me 1 second. Oh, I didn't save it, did I? Oh no, I think I did. Wait, let me check. Yeah, if you want to roll perception, we'll see if you can, how long it takes you to find it.
Alright, perception. Take the 15, because I'm bad at directions.
So with 15, yeah, you pretty clearly managed to hear, the clanging, of a blacksmith, at work.
Cool. Where is that at?
You find him, right down here against the wall.
Alright, well that's where I am then. Or I'm on my way there. Or should we cut to that while we're waiting on Daz?
I'm making my way to the the Thundering Lizard.
Alright, so you hand over to the Thundering Lizard, and it seems to be a pretty lively place. You hear celebration, the sound of mugs hitting tables, people singing very drunkenly. Like pretty much like anything you could probably want for a good time. The inside of the inn seems pretty standard. You have you know, the counter and back, which leads to a back room, probably where they cook the food and stuff. And the lady working the counter up front has access to kegs and stuff to serve refreshments. And there's probably about 12 tables out in the lobby there for the people are sitting and drinking.
Cool. I belly up to the bar and order a tall mug of their finest ale.
All right, and she collects 1 silver from you.
Okay.
All right, so she takes your silver, hands you, takes a mug and fills it from a nearby keg and hands it to you.
Thank you, ma'am. How goes it here?
Said, lively as usual. Thankfully, though, haven't had anyone stab each other. People get pretty protective over their money when they're gambling it away in poker.
My kind of place. Let me ask you, I'm waiting on some folks, and I don't know how long they'll be. Do you have any ladies of the evening that might be available for a quick rumble, if you know what I mean? Or is this not that kind of place?
Like, we do not officially condone such a thing. However, unofficially, I can tell you that she shows you on a map that she has behind the counter that if you go to this building right over here, and knock on the door, and then give the password Marlowe, you they can take care of what you desire.
I walk around the corner. Well met, good friend. How is it going?
I'm not with this guy, I tell the bartender.
Why stench? What do you mean you're not with me? We both came here together, but you evaded me in the alley a ways back.
Are you still making your way down there?
I don't know when
he's there.
I don't know when I'm there. I'm waiting. I'm letting you guys play out what you're doing before I do
Okay.
mine.
Also,
But yeah, I mean, I'm not amazing with directions, so it's gonna take me a minute to get.
So I asked, may I get your name, ma'am, at the counter?
My name is Arvara.
Arvara. It's a lovely name.
Elvira rings off the tongue.
Have you seen any? I'm looking for a guy named. Seen him around lately? We heard he might be, a place he frequents. Might be this one.
I'm sorry, who did you say you were looking for?
Wasn't it Vorn, the shield guardian? Didn't they say?
Oh,
no, I'm sorry. Volos, the guy who wrote the book. I hear.
Oh, right. She
He
says, yes, that guy. He's and she points to a table in the back corner with where you see Volo. He's sitting there and he seems to be writing. He's got a mug of ale and he seems to be scribbling on some parchment.
Then I'd lean across the bar, sort of quietly. What's this guy? Because I don't really trust him. I ask, is this guy full of shit? I don't know if I can roll a persuasion to see if I convince her to tell me or what.
You can roll persuasion. 18. She says no. He's a pretty famous author around here.
There's a little bit of offended that he asked that.
No, she's like,
no.
She's like, I get that all the time from new people in town.
Okay.
While I can't say I've seen him leave town, I've heard good things about his books and their accuracy.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Have you heard anything else new around town? I know the undead thing is a problem for everybody, but...
Alright, okay, roll me... Oh, wait,
It's a good thing for Citra when you get right down to it.
19.
Ooh.
It's like nobody in this town has the slightest idea what's going on outside of the town. I get the strangest feeling they're sheltered heavily.
She said no. Local word from adventurers that have come through here recently, that quite a few people have come back in pretty rough shape. Apparently, the group called the Flaming Fist, who base themselves in a Fort Balerion, punish people pretty severely for not purchasing a charter of exploration. And if they catch you without the proper paperwork, it can you can end up pretty bloodied.
Sounds like extortion of the highest order.
Well, it might be extortion, but there's no law out there. I mean, they can charge for
I'm gonna go have a few drinks and sort of enjoy your bar. You've been extremely helpful, and thank you very much. And I toss her a extra silver as like a tip.
She grabs it and she pockets it.
I put down a gold piece as a better tip.
When did we decide you had to roll real fast?
Oh no! Shoot.
Was it wisdom or intelligence? I think wisdom. Wisdom is force of will.
Oh man, that's not gonna be pretty. Let me check. Okay, so wisdom, because that's my weakness too.
Nice. Okay. So
every time you do that.
So you notice she has like a bunch of like trinkets and stuff behind the counter for like souvenirs and stuff, but you pretty quickly decide you don't need to add to your inventory's weight.
Okay, so I fought the urge to buy something.
Right.
That would be garbage. Cool.
And
Alright.
so you two sit down next to Volo and you start swapping stories. And we'll cut over to Steep so he can do his blacksmithery.
Sweet.
All right. Well, I just arrived. Then I'm gonna walk up to where I hear the anvil pounding.
All right.
And
So
down.
you as you approach, you see the blacksmith outside hammering on an anvil with a what appears to be a sword that he's tempering. And he looks up, sees you interested in his stuff, and he's like, top of the morning to you. What can I be of a service today for?
Yeah. Hey there. I was recommended your blacksmith services, and here you're one of the best in the area.
I said, well, you've heard right then, Boyle. What can I do for you? And he tosses a sword into a nearby bucket of water.
Yeah, I'm looking for some good steel. Maybe some a replacement or two for my katanas here.
All right. So it's like, so follow me in back. You so he leads you into the storefront. He unlocks and leads you in, and he takes you to some back cases, where they have an assortment of long swords, and some short swords.
Do I see any katanas?
Okay, yeah. Towards the back, you do see a couple katanas. And he looks at you, says, "Those weren't particularly my best work, and I can sell them at a discount."
I want to walk over to them and take a look at them. I want to just kind of, I want to pick each one of them up individually, swing them around, see how they feel in my hand, and see if any of them stand out to me as, a good sword. What do I need to roll?
Investigation.
Oh, great.
You notice it makes a swooshing noise as you swing it through the air.
He knows the sword.
So I don't see anything better than what I have, basically.
Right. It's just the only advantage it would have over it is that it would be new while you've used the other ones for a while.
Right. I don't mean to offend you, but I don't really see anything here better than what I have. But I would still like to do some business. Would you be able to sharpen these two swords? And I pull out the gray one and the black one.
So he grabs them and he sets them on the counter on the other side of the room, and he gets close and he inspects them. He's like, these have seen some wear. Yeah, if you give me about half a day, I can sharpen and reforge them a little bit, strengthen it up for you. See if I can give it a sharper edge.
All right, sounds like a plan. I'll wait here.
And It's like, all right, just let you know, I do take payment up front, and that's going to be 10 gold pieces sword.
All right. I am happy to give you 10, and if you have the, if you manage to improve them in any way, I'm more than happy to triple that.
It's
So
like,
I'm gonna lay 10 down on the table, and I'm gonna see if there's a corner or like a does he have like any bench or anything that I can sit on?
He does have a bench near the entrance, with looks like a couple worn down books for people that just want to wait around.
All right, I'm gonna walk over to the bench. Is it like a 2-person bench, a 3-person bench? Like how big is it?
It looks to be about a 3-person bench.
All right, I'm gonna lay down on it, and I'm gonna lay down with like, you know, my head on one side, my feet on the other. But because it's not long enough for my whole body, I'm gonna have like my right leg hang off and my left leg like, you know, on the bench. You know, like bent, like with my knee in the air. You know,
So
what
you're
I'm
just
saying?
saying you're lying in the coolest possible way on a bench.
Basically. Yeah, and I'm just gonna take a nap while I wait.
All right. If you're doing that,
Because I'm not leaving my swords, is my point.
Okay. While you nap, I dip out of the bar and head over to the red light district or whatever we're calling it.
Oh wow, we're going there. I missed
I'm
something
going
when I was
there.
I think
wandering
you
through
missed that. Oh, when you were gone, he was asking.
So I knock on
red
the
light
door.
what?
Knock
District
on
of
the
the red
door
light?
and
What's that
say
supposed to mean?
No, I said I dipped out. In other words, you didn't see me. Can I do like some kind of like stealth check to see if I can get away from him for a minute?
Yes.
While he's swapping stories.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm terrible at stealth. A -1, and then I have disadvantage too, I think.
Yeah,
Roll
because
it.
Yeah. Ah, fuck.
So I'm excited about this whole thing.
like
Damn.
you,
Wait, Stench, you're ducking out already. You haven't even heard the part about the tower.
I'll be back in a few minutes. Just stay and
No.
leave me alone.
I grab him around the shoulder as we walk out together.
So anyways, I knock on the door with him in tow, I guess, and say the password, Marlowe.
No, it's
and
Medlon.
And then I just shove him out of the way.
So there's a little latch about eye level that pops open for a second, takes a look at you. It closes again, and the door swings open and allows you to enter.
I enter.
And when you enter, you are greeted by a fine selection of women of every race. And a few gentlemen, too, if you're into that.
Oh, well, no.
My beautiful ladies, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lorthus Rathrin, the second in line of the dukedom of the Rathirian estate. At your service.
And
I jingle my gold pouch.
And as you say that, like every woman in the room, and also the guys too, they just start like, oh.
I said
and
ladies.
They start to crowd up around you, and they start like grabbing. It's like, oh, feel these muscles. I bet this dude's really refined. And like they no longer take they don't seem to notice stanch anymore.
Damn it. More save us. So I start walking around like pulling on any of the girls' dresses, trying to get their attention from behind them.
And
I don't know if
The homeliest of homely little halflings.
I slide Stanch 2 golds. Gold pieces. Here, my boy, don't spit it all at once.
I take the gold.
So, as you're discussing with them, you learn that there's a bit of a range in some of them. You have the lower end ones that run about 50 silver piece per hour. Okay. But those are also probably the ones that you may want to see a healing priest afterwards.
Whew.
And
good thing he is a healing priest.
The higher end ones, like the classy ones, run you about 5 gold an hour.
Is there like a madame that's in charge of the place?
Wait, I said that wrong. 5 silver, not 50 silver.
Okay.
5 silver to 5 gold, depending on the quality, and how much you
Okay.
want to get yourself tested afterwards.
Gotcha. Was there a madame of the house like runs
Okay,
it?
I offer 3 of the high class ones for a good time's sake amount of gold.
All right, so you pick your 3. You hand the gold over to the madame, who collects it from you, and you go on your way.
Cool.
They lead you to a room in the back. Yes, you can speak to the madame.
As they walk off screen.
Yeah. So they
I was
walk.
like, all right, here comes the huge chapter in the book. Meltdown has to read seductively.
Ma'am, I'm a man of peculiar taste, you might say.
So that usually isn't followed by anything good, but we try to accommodate.
Right.
I'm looking for your most peculiar-looking woman.
No. What I would like is
If you want cross-eyed, there's Susan over there in the corner.
well, as lovely as she may be, is there any particular one that is well visited frequently by, let's say, people of influence in town?
Me. They're all being...
Like, is there a?
It's like,
preferably a higher end one that maybe some of.
it's like, oh, so you're looking to be a high spender. All right. She takes you over the side and takes you through another doorway, and in back there are 4 more women, probably the most graceful and beautiful women you've ever seen in your life. And she
You're
says,
really messing out in his stench.
these run about 20 gold per hour apiece.
Okay. Any of you girls ever been with a Mr. Wakanga Atumba?
They all like, yeah, he's one of our most frequent customers.
I love how they don't even give a crap about discretion of the customer base.
So which
Just like,
one of
Here's a pastor just walked into the house, and we're going to tell him.
Well, I mean, look at Stench,
which
though.
one of his?
They say it's like, well, he really doesn't keep it discreet at all. Like the whole entire town knows. He's a bit of a dandy ladies' man.
Okay, well, who's
I
his
told you
favorite,
he was a
would you say?
dandy.
We're not gonna lie. He has a voracious appetite, and he
Well,
usually
yes.
he hires all 4 of us at once.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, I can't
Hold on,
afford that.
I need
So-
another one.
Are these all like elf girls or?
Okay, so you do notice there's one elf, there is a human, oddly there is a gnome, and there's a half-orc.
Oh my. All right, I'm just gonna go with the elf. For
The elf?
20 gold an hour.
All right, so you sorry, go ahead.
So I hired her, and my goal is. Again, I don't trust this guy either, Wakanga. So I want to get info from her, and I'm hoping maybe I can perform some kind of check to see how much I please her that will make her give me.
Oh, that's
information.
good.
Okay, pillow
Although
talk.
your dexterity's pretty low.
That's crazy.
So my goal is to be really good at sex and get info.
All right,
I
well,
need to roll to do that.
do you have performance?
Oh no, it's a
Roll
negative.
your performance check.
Oh, right.
Oh, I thought he was gonna crit.
Does he still have inspiration for his performance?
Yes, yeah, I want to do inspiration.
You have to ask for it first. That's an important one.
I'll allow it.
I
This-
like
this
the
is-
way you roll crit every time, and the
So
one
does-
time you please roll.
Do I need to roll it again then?
Yeah, roll it again.
Okay, come on. Don't let this lady down.
Whoa.
15. I'll take the 15.
Take the
So,
He's just throwing it out there, man.
Oh,
He's just not
wait,
stopping.
no, sorry. I didn't
You're,
realize that
you're
I'll
pretty
try again. Wait a minute. Let me try again. I can do better.
okay, yeah.
like
15,
you're
please.
you're pretty determined to upshow Lorthus. And she seems pretty satisfied. And as you're laying there after the act has been done,
Because, it was all for her satisfaction.
right? Like, this took probably a good 50 minutes. I mean, that's pretty good.
Right.
You're laying there, and you start asking her more about Wakanda. It's like, well, that's a pretty strange thing to talk about when we're in bed. I mean, you do have all of this for another 10 minutes.
I understand that, and you know what? I would like to be back eventually, but I do have a job to do.
It's like, well, I said, like, anything I can tell you is common knowledge. But what would you like to know?
What? Does he ever talk about anything dead situation?
This is really how this scenario would go, isn't it?
She looks weird. It's like, well, no. Thankfully, he never discusses.
Has he ever mentioned someone named Syndra?
Yeah, that was a story he used to tell the girls about the big adventure he had funded. And he was racked, pretty wrecked emotionally when Syndra had died in the middle of the expedition.
I'm sleeping, but I'm still skeptical.
He literally spared no expense in searching for a miracle to bring her back. She's the only woman to really ever deny his advances.
Oh. So, lover scorned, huh? So what about, I guess I'm just sort of grasping at this point.
Grasping at what?
Full self. Yeah, anything crazy around here? You got any patrons?
Well, I said, I because of my price, I only usually deal with the higher end clients.
Certainly.
But
you haven't dealt with a Womback, Balasar, or Galeback, have you?
she shudders at just the name of Balasar.
Okay. Give me the deets. What's going on?
That was for a different role. Sorry, I thought we were. She's like, well, let's just say that after he was done, I couldn't walk for a couple hours. Like there's no satisfying his desires.
Good lord. That's it? Like you do just a sick, like just.
He's not very social. He was just
a puppy.
like most guys I service are like a one and done, but this guy, this Dragonborn, he he only stopped because his time was up.
But he didn't discuss
And,
anything where he's staying or any of that good stuff.
No, actually, he didn't talk about anything other than he gave me directions if you want some insight into his kinks, but
Yeah, you know what, I do.
He stuck things in ways that I never thought was imaginable. But okay. However, he had like a really, like, one of his arms seemed to be made from ice. It was really cold, and he seemed to be in pain, but he could kind of like shift and morph it.
Okay, you didn't accidentally like hurt him or anything when?
She kind of laughs at the idea of hurting Balasar. It's like, I needed, when we were done, I needed a healing priest.
Oh God. So, I was more enjoyable than...
So, she's like, well, you did pretty decent, but
you're not particularly good at this job.
Once you go Dragonborn.
Okay.
Like just trying to match his size.
I get it.
I thought like the gold would at least like make her like, be all like, oh yeah, you're the best ever. But no, she's not.
This is honesty.
It's like, well,
you're an honest woman, and I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things our whorehouse is known for, is honesty. But we
That's
never
good.
divulge anything that wouldn't be more than common knowledge. Any
I got
actual
you.
secrets we would never divulge.
Gotcha. So Balasar has a fetish with putting things in things and an ice arm. So,
God help me if he hears this episode.
Okay, so thanks for your time.
Would you like any other rumors I may have overheard from patrons?
Yes, anything, please. This is
All right,
not
so
the whole reason I did this, but it's
You hear a sharp rap at the door. Stand!
Just a minute.
Time to go!
Go. Please go on.
All right, so with that, we have. Since she is higher class, I will give you 3. Let's see here. She has heard that bird folk inhabit a monastery that hangs on the side of a plateau many miles up the Olong River, past the Laughing Gorge. The bold folk are holding the last royal heir of Cholt as their prisoner, supposedly.
Ah.
Wow.
Let's see here. That was for the 26th. That's you. The Cholt has had many kings and queens, but none more beautiful than Queen Sekore. Thousands of warriors killed and died for her, but the only memorial of her reign is the Golden Palace of Nanglor, which lies near the eastern shore of the River Oolong, near the Lake Luo. And very specific rumor, apparently. And then let's see here. There was a city called Mesro that was supposedly destroyed, but rumor has it now that was destroyed during the Spell Plague. But rumor is its ruins are just an illusion. You've heard that a pale-skinned man whispers this to a dinosaur man with a big sword. The dinosaur man smelled like honeysuckle.
What the fuck?
Not phrasing that right. Okay.
Can you repeat that?
So,
As you pull yourself off.
so there was a city called Mesro that was supposedly destroyed during the Spell Plague. But supposedly, rumor has it that it actually wasn't, and that its ruins are just an illusion. I've heard by a few people that there's a pale-skinned man that whispers things to a dinosaur man with a big sword. The dinosaur man also smells like honeysuckle, supposedly.
Okay. You are an encyclopedic lady of the evening, and I appreciate it. Well, thank you. You have been great. And what's your name?
Stand! Time to go!
You also hear the matron out the door. It's like, your time is up.
All right.
Unless you would like to pay for another time slot.
No, I'm leaving. Well, it was lovely to meet you, Miss
And she's, as you pass this, my name is Flora.
Flora. All right. Thank you for your time. And then I get dressed and head back to the tavern.
Well, I don't know about you, but my ladies were satisfied in 3 minutes.
That's really good for you.
High class. I don't know what the cross-eyed Mary you hooked up with. But...
Now, question: was that 3 minutes apiece, or just 3 minutes flat? And you spend the next, and you set the next 57 minutes in just awkward silence.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm envisioning.
All right, so you guys have any other business?
No, we'll wait for. I'm gonna buy another drink, and then I'll just wait for.
All right, so a half a day has passed. It's now nearing sunset. And Genjo, you are awoken by the blacksmith. It's like, please follow me. I think my accent just went to shit there. All right.
That's fine.
And he
Go on and sit up. Ugh.
so he takes you back. And he even gave him new scabbards. And when you pull it out, they have like this just amazing sheen to them. And he was like, here, watch this. So he takes one of the swords out, holds it upside down, and he takes a feather and drops the feather on it, and as it lands on the edge of the sword, the feather just gets cut in half.
Very nice.
Um,
Is there any does he have any sort of like obviously he's got a furnace, right?
right.
So is there like some lumber around or anything?
You do see some wood piled up in the back.
Is there anything that would resemble like a spherical, like like a trunk of a tree or anything? Does he have like larger pieces, like larger chunks?
So you ask him that, and he says, well, if you'll follow me around to the side, I have some decent log chunks I haven't cut up yet for the fire.
All right, I want to take the swords out and give them. What I'm telling you is, I'm going to take the swords and I want to test them. I want to, see what they can do.
Right. All right. So you take him out. He takes you around to the side, and there's pretty decent size. This actual log of wood is probably, you said you're 4 feet tall.
Me?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm 6 foot.
Sorry.
Shorties.
I'm part of me still thinks you're playing gimmick for some reason.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you find a log that's probably about 4 feet tall, if you lay it upon flat. And he's like, all right, well, if you want to test your sword, go right ahead.
Does he find it odd that I want to hack into a piece of wood with a sword?
And he's like, no, I've had stranger requests.
Right,
at least I don't need to go find a butcher to find some pigs. That's a nightmare to clean up after. And he lost his accent. Apparently, he's just tired of keeping it up.
That's a great accent, though.
It was really good, by the way. But don't feel bad for putting it down. Don't worry about that. All right. Well, I assume he had given me back the swords.
Right. So he handed you the swords.
I put them back on my belt, and I'm gonna just pull the 2 out that he worked on. So dual wielding, whatever. And I'm going to go into my rage. So he's gonna see that I kind of tilt my head down a little bit, close my eyes for a second as I hold both swords perpendicular in front of myself, and I go into my rage, and then I'm going to attempt to take both swords together, going from the upper right down to the lower left, and try to cut right through the logs is what I'm going to attempt to do.
Okay, just roll me 1 hit die.
Okay, well, can I click the button and then we'll just take it off? Okay.
Oof, we'll take the 14. I mean, it's a standard piece of log that's standing.
Piece of wood. Right. Okay.
Right. So you slice through it like it's a hot knife going through butter.
So I literally cut cleanly through it twice.
Right.
With both swords.
Right, and it once again does that whole thing where it looks solid, and then 2 chunks of it just start to slide off.
Wow, really cool. Did he upgrade it in any way that I have to upgrade my sheet for?
Yes.
Now, is that "wow, really cool" comment in character? Because I kind of...
He just you're all cool, and then wow, really cool, gee willikers.
Yeah, right. No, I'm waiting to hear this, and then I'm gonna go back to roleplay.
Okay, so your swords are normally a +2 to slashing, up them to a +4.
Okay. All right. I'm going to sheath the swords and watch the logs fall as they fall. I'm going to turn to the man and I'm going to say, very impressive. And I'm going to hand him the extra 20 pieces of gold that I told him I was going to hand him. So that's 30 gold total that I have paid him, which let me just do that. That would be 7, right? Yeah, 173 then. Okay. So I'm going to say, you do very good work. Thank you.
He's like, don't mean nothing. If you need any further work, come back. I got quite a selection of other stuff. I can do repairs for armor, which I'm sorry, I see you don't wear any, but if you ever decide you need armor, I can get you covered.
I appreciate that. I'll pass on the information to my friends.
And he kind of gives you a slight bow as you walk away back to the inn.
All right, I'm going to make my way to where I remember the inn being, and I will roll. What am I rolling again for finding my way?
You don't need to roll that because you were with them when they veered off to it, so you already know its location.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, then I'm going to
And also, side note, do you have a copy of the exhaustion chart for a barbarian?
Do I have? I don't know that there's a chart. I know that that's my. I had 2 rages. I raged once. Then I had my short rest. So that should give me a rage back. Then I spent another one. So that should put me at 1. Correct?
Oh wait,
what is this chart that you're talking about though? I don't follow you on when concerning a chart.
Give me 1 second.
That's fine. I'm just changing my stats here for the new swords.
I know your characters won't believe this, but it's all like, well, I do have this this mending spell that can mend broken equipment and make them fancier. It's like you don't have to go to shops and buy things or upgrade. It's a fantastic spell.
Oh, okay. Regular rage does not impose exhaustion, I think.
All right. So
you have to use frenzy. Frenzy costs. Okay, so no, that doesn't affect anything right now.
Okay. So I upgraded my right and left hand katanas, but the third katana, the white katana, that has no benefits added to it at all, as it stands. So that has not been upgraded on my sheet.
Okay.
But each of the other 2 are a +2, correct?
Right.
Okay. All right. Then my sheet is caught up, and I am approaching the inn, the inn where they're at. When I get there, are they inside when I get there?
Yeah, they've sat back down. They've both got a mug of ale, probably still sitting near Volo, and both of them just kind of seem smiling, like they've had a pleasant experience.
All right. Well, I'm gonna walk in and I'm going to sit down next to them and order a mug as well.
And you can see like the cold sores like cropping through space too.
You spent the most money in the world and still ended up with cold sores, huh?
He outpaid me per class. So,
so I'm gonna sit down with the mug and say, where were you guys all day?
Oh,
Working.
just investigating, you know. Not boring stuff, really.
Find anything out?
Oh, I've got all sorts of info.
I do too.
A couple rumors.
Anything we can go on?
No.
What do you mean, no? You said something about a keep with some.
There's the royal
bandits
heir
or
of
some
Schultz.
such.
Found out that she's been kidnapped. Got her.
How he's been all night is no big deal. He found out where the royal heir to the city is. It's
Queen
no big
Zechariah. There's a golden palace out in the wilderness near Lake Ulo, and there's a honeysuckle dragon and his pale-skinned man that talks to him in a town that was thought to be destroyed, but it.
That is an awful lot of information. I mean, we've kind of been set on our task. I mean, a lot of that stuff needs attention for sure, but I mean, I don't really know that we can spare time on those things.
I understand that as well.
But I do think it's a good
none
idea
of them.
to keep our eyes open while we're out there.
There's a noble in danger. The city might collapse if he's not saved.
Well, I agree with you, but that's not the thing we've been tasked with.
Right, and none of these things I can directly connect with our current goal. There was like we could help.
You're breaking up a lot. Is the mic near your face, or are you a little bit distant?
No, it should be. Anyways, all these little quests I've been given don't seem to connect to our current goal in any way. So I don't know why we would do them. Other than just to help people, which is all well and good, but we're also sort of in a race against 3 other adventurers to get this treasure.
I think we need to find a guide. I think that's
I think a guide's a good idea as well. Though I do think it's imperative that we keep our eyes open for these other possible leads as well. I mean, anything we can do to help this city while we're out, doing what we've been tasked to do. And as I say that, I've got the mug in my right hand, and I'm sort of wrestling through and bringing the all the pamphlets out that did we gather the pamphlets? Like I imagine there was like a couple of each. Maybe we took some, or
Yeah.
otherwise we'd have no way of knowing. So
yes,
okay,
I've been
so
looking over those.
are they if they're already on the table, then I won't spread them out. But if they're not on the table, I'm going to spread them out.
Okay, you can spread them out.
Okay, so I'm gonna dig them out. I'm gonna throw them on the table and like kind of peer over them. Does any of these stand out to you guys?
I like the idea of Azaka because she'd be free if we helped. And the other one was Musharib. So those are the two I'm interested in.
Well,
and I'll let you guys put forth your ideas now.
Well, as for me, Azaka's nice because if we can help her and it won't cost us anything. I mean, I've already burned through over 30 gold here. Though
that's it.
I'm really leaning towards EQ as well because I mean she's going to be helping out the town. If we help her and she helps us, that works for me. What do you mean? Is that it?
Is that expensive to you? Come now.
Well, how much did you spend today?
I don't know. 200, I believe.
On what?
Information, dear boy.
Okay, well, I didn't hear anything from you when I asked for
Well, I passed on. Lorthus turns red and kind of looks behind him. He's looking at
So, I'm still talking to Lorthus. So, who do you think we should have guide us?
I like this Asaka character. It seems to know the lay of the land, and I think that's what we need in this foreign, barbaric environment.
So is that 3 for Azaka?
It's 3.
Or than Iku.
What's that?
You voted for Iku, right?
I said Azaka or Iku, and you said Azaka or what? Hugh, I think.
Musharib.
Musharu. Okay. And then Daz said Azaka, and he didn't say a second one yet.
So it sounds like Azaka.
So Azaka then. Is there anything on the? I'm looking here, but I don't see anything like how to contact her.
Right.
So I'm gonna walk up to the bar, I guess.
Or the board.
All right.
The board's like way the heck away from us.
Yeah. Sorry, I skipped over that bit of info earlier. You approach the barmaid and you ask her about how to hire these guides that are posted, and she responds with, let's see here.
I mean, it's getting late. I know that much, so I figure we're probably gonna have to wait till tomorrow to do it.
Okay, so she's like, all guides in this town are registered and worked under Jobel.
Noble?
Jobel. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure he's one of the merchant princes.
Really?
One of the other guides says
I just did it because it rhymes with Jobel, so that's why I asked.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, okay, so, you, go speak to, Jobel. He has a, his office is set up in, back up in the merchant's ward, and he can help you get in contact with any of the guides that are registered under him.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything else I can get for you guys?
One more refill before we go.
Yep.
She
And I apologize for our inquisitive nature. I know you're just trying to run an establishment here.
No worries. Information is part of the job.
All right. Well, I'm gonna down the rest of my my drink, and then I'm going to suggest to the guys that we go find some place to. Well, I'm actually not going to suggest a place to sleep because I'm pretty well rested.
I'm going to down the rest of mine, and can I do a Constitution check on that? Because I don't feel like my guy's a big drinker like Stanch. I don't know how that would exactly affect me in this scenario.
Ooh. Okay. So
I'm buzzed.
Also, with the amount of drinking that you've done in this bar, you're pretty tipsy. You're starting to see triple of everything, and
like I saw a double Ginjos.
Right. So yeah, you see triplicates on everything, and while you think you're walking in a straight line, you see your friends see you just veering left and right in a frenzied manner.
All right. Genjo is just going to walk over and try to pick him up and throw him over his shoulder. He's a pretty small dude, right? Like, I mean, I know he's tall, but he's very, very skinny.
I go over to help Genjo.
No, I'm actually throwing him. I want to put him like waist bent over my shoulder.
Oh, you want to do it by yourself? Okay.
That's my goal. Unless of course
I back off.
Unless Lothras resists, that's what I'd like to do. Since he's about to fall over. All right, let's get you back.
No, you got me back where? I'm completely fine, yeah?
I gotta roll strength. See if
Yeah.
I can handle it.
Oh god, we're gonna make a pretty embarrassing scene this part leaving it on.
I mean, it's not the most graceful, but you managed to get him.
Good. Okay, cool.
Alright, I'm gonna carry him back. But I'm also... Well, I'm gonna carry him back, but at the same time, I don't know where we're going either, so... So I'm just gonna start walking with Lothras in my hand. And I'm going to start walking this direction. Well, I do not mean to spin myself.
In your hand, huh?
Or in my hand.
I catch up to you and tell you you're going the wrong way.
Well, where are we going then?
Wait, one thing
This
I think I
way,
missed
north.
is how does your character not know how to navigate?
It's just one of my things.
Your flaws?
One of my flaws. Yeah, I'm bad at remembering things. I am bad at directions, and I tend to rush in to situations. So, those are my flaws.
Well, it sounds like my real
Go
life.
north. I have to travel to different churches all the time. Know my way pretty well. I can figure it out.
No,
So I lead them up to the church. We head down, I guess. Are we all in one room together with 3 beds?
Right. Well, there's more than 3 beds. It's like
I
a
gotcha.
bunkhouse. There's both walls are just lined with beds.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna lay Lothras. Lay him down in beds.
On his ass?
Huh?
Lothras on his ass?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not gonna tuck him in or nothing, but I am gonna, put his head on pillow side,
He just mutters in sleep. It's just dignity. Bye.
And then I'm going to walk over to the non-claimed bed that I have, my coat in the trunk of, and I'm gonna sit on the bed and leaf through the book since I don't need a full night's sleep now. I only need about a half night's sleep.
After my rigorous physical activity,
Oh god. Please
throw
don't
off
describe it.
the armor and collapse onto the bed.
I love the idea of the armor just piled on the floor by his bed.
Because he would not neatly put it away.
And so I'm gonna page through it for a couple of hours, and then I'm gonna go to sleep as well.
Okay.
See if I find anything out. Am I learning anything? Reading through this book?
Yes, if you'll roll.
Is it gonna give me information on weaknesses for things, or
were you looking through the journal or Volo's guide?
I don't have the journal. Someone else. I wasn't given the journal.
You have the guide, I know.
I have the guide. I don't know who has the journal. I don't know if we actually established that.
I'll keep the journel, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, yeah,
So-
you
we
were
need to
talking
go
to
back
him a
and-
lot more.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're learning a lot about what kind of creatures you will face in the wild,
Okay.
and it's got a lot of detailed information.
I'm studying the shit out of it.
You're studying the shit out of it.
Well, this is not just a lore-based thing. This is like it might like come in handy. Like when we come across a monster, he might have.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Like,
hoping that I
these-
have
okay,
advantage on some of the things I've studied. I don't know,
Like,
but I'm...
if you just the slight meta here on that one. Basically, whenever you come up across a monster, you can look it up in the book, and I can give you information about it. Anything
see-
up to and not including like stat blocks, because like you wouldn't really know that.
Yeah.
Right, but what am I getting for studying it not in front of creatures?
Like, could you pull it out in combat and be like, "I'm going to study about this dinosaur"?
Well, I don't think you could pull it out in combat. That's why I'm trying to study it. I'm hoping. My goal is okay. So my goal is, my character is attempting to be the best swordsman ever. So he wants to know everything he can about his enemies. That's why he's reading.
Also, it seems like he's being the most cultured in this bizarre place too. That's
Right,
probably-
alright,
I
so-
don't know about cultured, but probably more reserved. I'd say.
So yeah, if you'll roll me a investigation, I guess.
Okay, is this for both times that I read the book, or just the once?
Roll it twice.
There's one. There is two.
12,
the DM
13,
laughs,
14.
Something terrible is happening.
Yeah, right. It's
Well,
like
strength roll 12, investigation 13, investigation 14.
Oh, okay.
I also think it's funny that I critted on the 19 and I got a 1 on the other one.
So
It wasn't a natural one, but it does. I mean, it doesn't matter because it's the other one. But I just
Yeah.
think it's funny that I got the highest and the lowest.
you feel like you've picked up enough information that you could probably recall and relay information about probably some of the more common monsters you think you'd come up against without having to pull the
Cool.
book out.
All right. Well, and then I go to bed. So